Hi friends, welcome back. So glad that you're here today. We are actually gonna play with some makeup today, which is not my usual content by any means, but every once in a while I like to do a video like this. And lately, I've been getting a lot of requests for this video. A lot of requests for a makeup tutorial on this specific look that I've shared a couple times on my channel. I try really hard to focus on products that make me feel good and are good and nourishing for my skin now. I don't have Botox now into my 30s, and I don't know, it just feels good to kind of let my skin breathe and really just find little ways with makeup, with skincare, to enhance our natural beauty. So that's what this routine is gonna be like today. If that's your vibe, definitely stick around. And yeah, I'm excited to dive into the products, share some of my favorites, and just share how I create this glowy, glammy date night look. Caleb and I are gonna go out to dinner tonight, so I'm really excited. Maybe grab yourself a coffee, a fun drink, sit down, hang out, maybe get something done around your house. Let's just hang out and talk about some makeup. But before we dive into the tutorial, I did want to kindly thank BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. Fall is in full swing, and as the seasons change, our routines change, life can look busier, things can look different. And I want to speak from the heart when I say that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to struggle with change. It's okay to struggle for no reason at all. And I think it's important to check in with yourself and ask yourself, do I need to talk to someone? Because I know for me, the answer is often yes. I have seen so much benefit from talk therapy with my therapist through BetterHelp. And I love BetterHelp so much because getting started is as simple as filling out a questionnaire, and they will match you with a licensed therapist in as little as just a couple of days. I know just having someone to talk to who's gonna give unbiased professional advice, who's gonna speak into your life and speak into certain situations from that third party view is so helpful. It's empowering. It's just such a relief to have a safe space to talk to somebody. And I know for me, it's something that I incorporate into my weekly routines. That is a non-negotiable. The other really cool thing about BetterHelp is that you can change therapists at any time with the click of a button and no additional cost to you. I know sometimes it can be hard to find a good therapist, and it sometimes takes time, but be patient because you deserve it. You deserve to find somebody that you resonate with, that's going to be there for you and help you in a way that feels good to you. So if you're struggling or you just need somebody to talk to, consider BetterHelp. You can go to betterhelp.com/Amy Fritz and you'll get 10% off of your first month's therapy. And thanks again, BetterHelp, for sponsoring today's video. Let's get ready. I look crazy. Let me take these off. So while I was straightening my hair, just kind of doing my skincare and getting ready, I like to put these hyaluronic acid patches under my eyes just to add some hydration. I find that my makeup goes on just a little bit smoother when I do that. This is what they look like. I just get them off of Amazon, and I will link everything I use down below. Just press it in very gently once I take off those patches, because there's a little bit of product residue left. And it's cooling. It feels really good. I don't know. But on the nights where I am gonna put on a full face of makeup, or a day where I just want my makeup to look a little bit nicer, I will go in with a facial razor. I get these on Amazon. They're kind of like a dermaplaning razor, and I shave my face. And I know that sounds a little crazy, but you'll just pull your skin taut and just ever so gently go in downward strokes all over. And not only does this exfoliate your skin beautifully, but then when you do put on product afterwards, I find that it just absorbs so much better. So I try to do this at least once a month, if not twice a month. And I try to line it up on a day where I am gonna do a full face of makeup, because I find that the product just looks so much smoother on the skin. Before I go in with my foundation, the first two things I wanna do is moisturize. I like to moisturize my skin, even if I've already done my skincare. Let's say I did my skincare earlier in the day. Before I do my makeup for date night, like tonight, I will do this just because I tend to have really dry skin. If you have normal or oily skin, this probably doesn't apply to you, but as somebody with dry skin, as I get older, I find that I need to moisturize all the time. So going in first, I have this Milk Skin Toner. Oh my word, you guys, I discovered this product. I get it on Amazon. It's Korean skincare. I discovered this probably 4 months ago. I use it day and night. It is so refreshing and moisturizing without being overly heavy, and it's something I tend to go in with before I put on makeup. I find that my makeup just goes on really smooth. So it literally just has like a milk like texture, and I'm just gonna apply this all over my skin, and it just feels so good. You can just be really gentle and you'll get like a nice supple glow without being greasy. It's really good. Then instead of primer, I just always go back in with a moisturizer. I use the La Roche-Posay Ultra Soothing Repair Moisturizer. I'm almost out, but I just do one pump. I don't go crazy with it, just a nice small amount. And I will apply this all over my skin, and then my skin will be ready to receive the makeup and go on nice and smooth. So I'm just letting that moisturizer soak in for a minute before I go in with product. I think Caleb and I are going out for a steak dinner tonight, so I'm excited. We try to do a date night a couple of times a month at least, and this is something that we have prioritized pretty much the entirety of our marriage. We fell out of the habit when our kids were really little, and then when we had Graham, you know, we had three and under, and we just realized we need that time to connect. And so we haven't looked back. We hire a sitter, we budget for it, and it's just something that is so important. It is just so good for your relationship, and I will always preach that. But nonetheless, okay, first things first here, 2 products I've been going back and forth between are the Merit Tinted Sunscreen. This is my favorite daytime look, but sometimes I'll use it at night just because it's really pretty on the skin. I also have the IT Cosmetics CC Plus cream. It also has SPF 40 in it. I like both of them. I think I'm gonna go in with the Merit tonight just because I think it matches my skin tone a little bit better right now. I'll just do like, I don't know, 2 pumps-ish on this little Merit brush. I worked with Merit a couple of months ago, and I genuinely love their products and have been using their products for a good 6 months or so. But I feel really good about using Merit because they follow the European Union guidelines for skincare, which are a lot stricter than the US. So anyway, I'm just gonna blend this out all over my lid, my nose, and you can see it's just so pretty. Even as a tinted sunscreen, it works just as well as a foundation, I find. And you can layer it too. If you need more coverage, less coverage, you can kind of just go in wherever you need. The key is just to blend it out really nicely all over the skin. Next, I'm using the complexion stick from Merit. This is one of my favorite products that they have, and I like it a lot because you can use it as a foundation or a concealer. Sometimes I'll take it with a brush, sometimes I'll draw it right on my face, but one thing I try to do when I'm using it as concealer is just use a little bit. I think so often with makeup trends and different things we see women put a ton of concealer on under their eyes, and as we get older, as we have bags and fine lines, less is more when it comes to coverage. So really, I just try to conceal kind of my dark inner corners and call it good. And what I'll do is I'll actually just put some on my ring finger like that, and I'll just dab it on ever so slightly. That way I don't use too much. And I'll go on my upper lid as well. And I just kind of hit that inner corner and blend it out really well. And the nice thing is you can layer it. So like, let's say I went in with this first layer and I just felt like it wasn't enough coverage, then I would just do another layer and it's still gonna look really nice. So that looking good? I think it's blended out. And then another thing I'll do is I'll just kind of go anywhere I see any blemishes. I've been struggling with some hormonal acne on my chin. It's driving me nuts. I can't get rid of it. But I also don't want to go on medication at this point, so I'm kind of just dealing with it. So I'll just kind of put it where I need it, and it really goes a long way. I like to do all my cream products before I go in with powdered products. And so next I'm gonna go in with my cream blush. This is from Patrick Ta. What's the shade? She's the Moment is the shade, but it's a very peachy, pinky color. It's so pretty. There's a cream and a powder, which I like a lot. And what I'll do is I'll just dab a little bit on a brush, and I'm gonna take my blush really high. I like everything to give sort of a lifted look, and I try not to go too heavy-handed with blush, but it's kind of hard not to. It's so pretty, and I find that my blush kind of disappears as the night goes on, so you'll find that I do go a little heavy at first, but it'll look normal in like an hour, I promise. So I just kind of go right up the top of my cheekbone, up the side of my temple, I guess. And I just try to hit where the sun would naturally kiss me, and I would get a little bit of rosiness if I were to be out in the sun a little too long. And then I will also hit like the very tip of my nose, because same thing, that's where the sun would give me a little kiss if I went out on had a beach day. Last cream product is another Merit product, and it's their bronzing stick. I love this product so much. You can contour with it, you can bronze your face. I'm gonna go for more of a bronzing effect. So again, I'm gonna try to hit the high points of my face, keep everything lifted, and try to touch where the sun would naturally hit me. So I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna go right here. I am gonna do my nose just a little bit, which is kind of more of a contour, but it's okay. And then I will go under my chin. And I just find this is so glowy and beautiful. I like a lot of cream product. Again, I'm a dry skin girly. I find that as our skin matures, cream product just tends to look less crepey on the skin. But I also understand if you're super oily, it's probably hard to use a lot of cream product. However, we are gonna set everything in place in just a minute, so bear with me. I take my bronzer or contour from my chin all the way up to my ear. I find that it really defines my jawline. Just make sure you blend it down. So that's all of our cream product on. Now we're gonna set it in place. I love this product. It's the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. And I will just take the cap and I'll go in like that. I'll tap off the excess. And I will very, very lightly, like a very light hand, look up and go under my eyes. Again, so I kind of set that concealer. I'll go on my eyelid as well. That way my eyeshadow stays in place. Instead of going everywhere on my face with this powder, I'm just gonna hit where I need it, which is kind of more or less my T-zone. I'll go with my chin because I did use some concealer on my chin for those blemishes, my upper lip because it gets sweaty, and nose area, and then maybe right here. I'm just using the butter bronzer from Physicians Formula. This is an oldie but a goodie. Smells like a coconut beach vacation. It's the real reason I use it. One tip I have when you go in with any kind of powdered pigment, like a bronzer or blush, go in, tap off some excess, but then also just hit the back of your forearm to get that initial whoa heavy pigment off. That way when you do go in with your forehead or anywhere on your face, it goes on a little bit lighter. If the pigment is too much, it just instantly looks fake. And so less is definitely more when it comes to bronzer and blush. You don't want to go in with too heavy of a hand. Okay, then I'm gonna go in with my powdered blush. Same thing, I'm gonna tap into the powder, then tap the extra off on the back of my arm, and then just hit the very high points where we put the cream blush. Next up, I am gonna do just a little bit of eyeshadow, nothing crazy. I'm going in with this Natasha Denona palette. I've loved this one for a while now. The colors are so beautiful. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with this taupey color in my crease just to create some dimension. I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush. This is from Sephora. It's the number 13. I'm gonna take that taupe, tap off any extra again, and then I'm just gonna hit like the crease, but I'm gonna go high and just do kind of windshield wiping motions back and forth for a good minute or so and blend it out really nicely. Like that. You can see already, you get a nice little dimension there without it being too much. I don't like a lot of eyeshadow these days. I just like to feel like there's some warmth and just kind of a sultriness to my eyes without going crazy. That's even pretty all by itself. If you don't have this palette or a palette with this kind of color, just use your bronzer. I do that all the time if I'm traveling and I don't bring eyeshadow with. I'll just use my bronzer and I'll just buff out the crease, and it just adds so much warmth and it creates a really pretty kind of monochromatic look. All I'm gonna do now is take the shimmery color in the middle. You can see I've used it a lot. I'm gonna take my ring finger and I'm just gonna tap it on in the middle of my eye and somewhat inward, like the inner corner. And I find that that just brightens up my eye. It just adds a little something, nothing crazy. Now I'm going in with some liquid eyeliner. I love the Kat Von D tattoo liner in this chocolate color. I love brown eyeliners and brown mascara for a more natural, warm look. I just find that it's less harsh than black. It's just really, really pretty. I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm gonna try to do as thin as I can. I'm just gonna do from the center out and maybe give myself a little wing. But again, it's just to create some depth for my mascara. I'm not trying to create some crazy eyeliner look or eyeliner wing here. It's just as tight as I can to the lash line. Just create a little bit of depth. I just use the littlest bit. Okay, that's on. While I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm gonna do eyebrows. And I've been using the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. Looks like this. I don't know what shade it is. It says 3 on it. I don't know if that's the shade number maybe. It's just kind of like a taupey brown. And I go really light with my brows. I'm very grateful. I have pretty thick natural brows, so I just try to enhance the shape. I always do the nose trick where I start here. I'll try to add a little bit of extra right here to kind of create that arch, and then I try to leave the tail alone so it doesn't look too drawn on, but I'll just kind of show you. Another key thing is I just do the lightest feathery strokes. I do not go too harsh while I'm drawing this on. So I kind of just go a little bit higher than my natural brow at the natural arch point. That way it creates a more dramatic arch, and I just find the shape is really pretty. If you're somebody who likes to set your brows, if you're someone who likes that laminated brow look, that fluffy brow, the natural brow, maybe you don't want product, like you have really nice natural thick brows, you just want to shape them. This is my little trick. I don't know that I've seen this anywhere, but I'm sure it's been done before. This is a hair wax stick. You can see it's just like a wax. And I have 2 of these. I have one that I actually use for my hair, but this one I use for my eyebrows. So what I'll do is I'll take the spoolie on the other end of this brow product and I'll just kind of rub it on there to get some wax onto the spoolie. And then that way I can kind of brush up and it's gonna stay in place and I can shape them exactly how I want them. You can go dramatic and really get that fluffy laminated look, or you can kind of just shape them and they are gonna stay in place and not move, but they're not gonna feel crunchy. I don't know if you've ever used like a wet brow gel. I hate that crunchy feeling. So this is something I've been doing for a while now and it works really well. can see, just nice set brows, kind of natural, but this works really good. Now that my eyeliner is dry, next thing I'm gonna do is curl my lashes. This is just, I think, Tweezerman brand. It's from Amazon. Again, I'll link it. And I'm going in today with the Bare Minerals Strength and Length Serum Infused Mascara. I like this one. It's a little bit more of a natural product. This is a black, not a brown. Let's see. If you're looking for a good brown mascara, I really like this one by Lancome. I will link both, but because it is date night and I want a little bit more of a dramatic eye, I am gonna use black tonight. But I'm just starting out. If you really want a good curl, you can heat up your lash curler with a hair dryer, but I'm not too worried about it tonight. I've been really struggling with watery eyes the last couple of weeks. I think fall allergies are just in full swing, and so I have to be careful with how much eye product I use. I feel like it's just running down my face. But thankfully, this mascara seems to hold really well, so that's why I'm gonna use it. This is what it looks like. And I'm just gonna close my eye and brush up. That's how I always do it. I'll open, I'll hit the outer corners. And one thing you'll notice about me is that I don't use lower mascara, lower eyeliner. I think it looks so pretty on other people if done right, but I don't want anything heavy downward. Like, I don't want to put product downward and bring my eyes down. I like everything to feel lifted, up, bright, and natural. So if you're like, why aren't you doing anything on the lower lash line? That's why, but that's just preference. I like to go as close to the base as I can and kind of just wiggle upwards. Just like that. So last, lips. I like to go in with a lip liner and then a gloss is my personal favorite. This one is the Signature Lip from Merit. And when it comes to lining your lips, I think there's a lot of opinions out there as far as overlining, but typically, I don't know what it's called, but somebody told me once, you just follow where the lips and the skin meet. There's almost like a white line. Do you see that? And that's what you follow to line your lips. I just do up here and then I just do the center down low so it doesn't look too fake or too much. Again, I'm gonna see if I can do this on camera. But this is just a really pretty color. It's pretty close to my natural lip color, just a little deeper. I'll just kind of blend it out with my finger. And then, last thing I'll do is go in with some lip gloss or lip oil. This lip oil is from Typology. I really love it. It's powder pink lip oil, and it just finishes the look and looks so pretty on the lips. Also really love that it's not sticky. Just like that. And then the very last thing I will do is set my face in place. Because I used quite a few powders on top of those creams, I want everything to melt together and stay in place all night. So I'm gonna use the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil 24-hour setting spray. I really like this one. It's alcohol free, I'm pretty sure. So it's not gonna dry out my skin. It smells nice too. So I just do a few squirts. Okay, maybe more than a few. There we go. It's a really fine mister too, and I like that. That way you don't have those like water spots on your face and everything just feels really nice and melted and set in place. And this is the final look. This is kind of my go-to, a little bit more glam than normal, a little bit more than every day, I would say. It's sort of like my date night look. You want it to feel natural and really let your natural beauty shine through without doing too much, but you still want to feel put together. So this is what I've been doing. And like I mentioned, I really love the products I've been using. I will link them down below for you guys. And yeah, thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. I had lots of requests for this. So if you want to see anything similar, you want any other details, feel free to leave a comment and I'll get back to you. And I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm gonna go have fun on date night. I'll see you later. Bye.